Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today, I tap local maple syrup right here in Mill Creek Park. I also prepare easy and hearty potato soup. But first, GABA Camp. The dream is now a reality. Well, you are definitely making progress at GABA Camp.
Yes.
I mean, can you believe this is actually a reality?
I didn't believe it because we spent a lot of money on the infrastructure. And so you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on no structures. You know, there was nothing tangible to see. So now that we have cabins, I'm believing it. And I'm excited about it. And our folks can see them, and I can gauge their excitement immediately.
Oh my gosh, all the clients are really, really excited. And you know, it's been such a dream for so long that when you see it become a reality, it's exciting. I mean, it's going quickly now.
Yeah.
This is, you know, the easy part.
I'm not doing the work, so that's kind of easy.
I mean, a lot of
a lot of other things go into it, but people keep asking me, well, when's going to be the ribbon cutting? When are we going to start? As soon as those cabins are ready, we're starting. It's going to be
right.
The clients want to get in there. They're ready to go.
So this is like a development.
We're ready to go.
We're at phase one.
Yes, we are.
You know, so it's phase one. So then we're going to get a lot of other amenities. I mean, once phase one is completed, we then begin with phase two. We're talking the swimming pool.
Yes, the lodge, the swimming pool, God willing, equine therapy, you know, so a riding area, you know, big barns for horses, you know, our
and
folks.
Then what is this swing you were talking about? And the clients are
we
so
already
excited.
we already have wheelchair accessible swings. One of them is already up. And so our folks with disabilities, we have a lot of folks that
so they
sit
stay
in wheelchairs.
In the wheelchair?
Yeah, and you just clamp the whole wheelchair on.
Wow.
So yeah,
that is
we're exciting.
I mean, you find all these wonderful things that I had no idea even existed.
Oh yeah.
And
another case of our folks teaching us, right?
Right.
Folks with disabilities are always excellent teachers. So
now I know that this is going to be really something special for your clients and for their families. But this is also going to be a destination for other adults with disabilities. Have you been hearing from, you know, your friends in other states?
I'm glad you asked that, yes. And new friends, you know, people that we haven't met before. We fielded some phone calls from the Nashville area, some Pittsburgh area phone calls, some upstate New York phone calls. We recently had one from Connecticut. And these are from adults with disabilities, people that are wheelchair bound, that are hoping this can be a resort destination, you know, from where they live. You know, and a lot of these folks are traumatically brain injured, meaning they were born without a disability, and through illness or an accident of some sort, you know, now they are, you know, physically affected. And so it brings me great joy to think that we can fly them into the Pittsburgh airport, pick them up in one of our nice Golden String vans, and bring them to camp for a week and do the opposite on the return. So
I mean, think about that. You are making Coatesville, Ohio, the garden capital of the world.
Yeah.
This is now going to be a destination.
I have to give credit to Mahoning County, Anna DeSantis, Carol Remedio Rigetti. They're the ones that threw out the word tourism and resort. We were blessed to get substantial CARES fund money from our glorious Mahoning County.
Well, yeah, but it really is. I mean, this is something, you know, it's not just us that have adults with disabilities, you know, all across the nation.
Yeah, it affects every family in some way. So, yeah, I never thought it was going to be like a resort, but I love the idea. I think our folks deserve it. It's time.
You know, unfortunately, the most difficult part of GABA has been raising the funds.
Correct.
Because this is an expensive proposition.
Right.
How is that going?
It's going well as far as what we've collected. I'm pleased with what we've collected. There's still a long way to go, but we have been very ardent in our grant writing, and we have literally millions of dollars out there, for different foundations and boards and organizations to look at. So God doth provide. I think we're going to be, doing okay with that. Of course, we're still soliciting donations, corporations, again, any organization that may have some extra money lying around. This is an investment not only in our community, but in folks with disabilities, helping people that are on the fringes of society. I think it's our human right, or duty, human duty to do that. And what better way? Talk about people that, our society really doesn't think about so much, adults with disabilities. This is going to prevent a lot of depression. It's going to get people, if you're sitting in a wheelchair, you think sometimes maybe there's no one else in the world like me. Well, we're going to get 50 of me's together, and we're going to have a week.
True.
And we're going to get people together that have, they're singular in a lot of ways, but we're going to make a community for them.
You definitely will be building a community. And, I thought you were nuts when you were first talking about this years ago. And every day it just moves, to a reality.
I am nuts, but thank you. I admit that. At least very peculiar. We'll go with that.
This is going to be
one of the most...
a year-round oasis.
Yeah, one of the most poignant moments was our Golden String president of the board, Dave Blasco. I was probably moaning and complaining about the cost of things, and he said, how much does it cost to get somebody in a wheelchair into the woods? Or how much is it worth? He's like, we can't put a dollar, it's priceless. And so just quit your belly aching, keep writing the grants, keep talking to organizations. Yes. He's like, it'll happen.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoning Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers. I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Eating, drinking, celebrating. That's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour. Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you. I'm here with John Sladina, and he is the president of the Rocky Ridge Neighborhood Association, and he's also one of the big volunteers here that makes maple syrup right here at Rocky Ridge. John, we have been going back and forth, and getting the maple syrup out of the trees is really weather dependent, isn't it?
I have a whole appreciation for what farmers go through. I mean, we joke that we're urban farmers. We live right on the streets across from the park. All of us are volunteers. And there's a very unique window in this entire world where you can make maple syrup.
You know, it always around February, right, is when you start looking for those thaws. Is that correct?
That's right. For the sap to come out of the tree, you need above freezing days and below freezing nights. And that cycle is what makes the pressure in the tree that the sap comes out. Too cold, everything's frozen. Too warm, nothing comes out.
Where did you learn all these nuances?
It was the University of YouTube and the Michael Kusalabari Library on Mahoning Avenue. In 1951, most of these trees were planted, about 125 trees. It's named after Charles Snelling Robinson. Now, he was on the park board at the time. Interesting thing about Charles Snelling Robinson, his house was where the Ford Nature Center is today. That family sold it to Judge Ford.
Okay.
So that's Snelling Robinson's house. He was off the park board. They planted this maple grove and named it in his honor. And then it was known about, but it kind of forgot in the forgotten world.
When did they start tapping? When did they figure out we got to get tapping?
So we went on a nature hike in 2012 from the park. We left the Ford Nature Center.
Yeah.
We walked all the way over here a couple miles. I'm like, I'm right next to my house. This is a working maple grove. So at the time, went to the park leadership and said, have an idea. Here's literally an untapped resource. For 60 years at that point, if we try to make maple syrup, whatever we sell, we'll give the park half, and the other half our nonprofit will take and we'll give it to charity. You want to be 6 inches away from a previous drill point.
Okay, looks like this was one.
Correct. So if we want to put one, say right here, that looks like a good spot, and we're gonna go about 2 inches in. Now you're gonna go straight perpendicular into it and keep on pushing until we hit the end of that tape. That's 2 inches in.
It's going in. Okay, now I go to reverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
oh, look, Bill, there is already sap. See?
Then perfect.
How do I screw this in a little bit?
Yeah, you don't have to screw it. Just you place it in. No need to screw.
Is that sticking out enough?
Yep, perfect. And then you attach your sap sack.
Wow, this is so much easier.
And look, it's dropping already. Look, you can see it.
Told ya, this was gonna be a good one.
We might have a record. And it will slowly fill up. Now you can see it.
That is awesome.
Ohio was like the Silicon Valley of maple syrup innovations in the 1860s. This tool that we use is called an evaporator, and there's some people that actually patented this over 100 years ago. From Ohio, yep. And there's actually a company, I need to do research on it, they made maple syrup equipment in Warren.
Really?
Yep, and after they patented their design of the evaporator, I believe it was the Grimm family, the Grimm brothers, he went over to Vermont. These hold together about 400 gallons of sap. So you can say from these things being completely full, we'll probably make a little less than 3 gallons of syrup. We have it coming down the pipes into this hood now. Before we built this hood, we didn't have this here and it was a lot louder in here. But now, from the fire, we preheat the sap coming in. So instead of coming into the system, when we start to boil it at 40 degrees, it now comes into the system at 180 degrees.
So what does this do?
When it needs more, so as you're boiling it away and it realizes that it needs more sap, this automatically goes up and down.
Once this temperature reading reaches 7 over, that's 7 over boiling water, we know that it's syrup. So we open this valve over here and that's actually...
No way! I am here watching this is syrup!
Yep, this is it right now.
That amber gold. Yeah.
That's syrup right there. So this is dense hydrometer. Third filter that we do during this process here.
One of the things I was showing earlier is that the back flue pan is doing all that work. Every chamber here gets a little bit closer to syrup, a little bit. You can even see how the bubbles change.
I see, and then you can see how the color changes.
Right. So it gets a little bit more concentrated, in every single one.
And what is in there?
Well, this is a very secret thing, but we're on the west side. This is lunch, Casey. This is,
okay.
These are our pirohi.
Okay.
That we're boiling. Whoops. And we won't mix it in. It won't get in.
Nick.
But that's our lunch.
Now this looks like a fine cordial, but actually this is not cognac or anything like that. This is prepared right here in Milk Creek Park. And John, I think this is gorgeous. Now, what notes am I looking for?
We'll be looking for some smoky notes. Again, the terroir of the west side. This was just made 10 minutes ago.
There is some smoke. It is delicious. It is, and it's warm. I mean, you feel like you just want to dunk something in it.
From the sales of the syrup, we sponsor a baseball team at Arco Field Milk Creek Junior Baseball League. So
I used to play there on the Ponytail League.
Right. So there is a team there now, the Rocky Ridge Runners.
Okay.
Fully funded from this maple syrup.
Now, where can I purchase this Amber Gold?
We have a Facebook, which is Rocky Ridge Neighbors.
Okay.
And we'll have updates there as well when the season is coming. But we're in the middle of the season, coming towards the end part of it. All volunteer, and I'm so glad you enjoyed the product.
Oh my God, it's delicious. This is a good vintage for Rocky Ridge maple. It's delicious. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard. For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
It's happening now. Construction is underway at Gabacamp.
A year-round destination for adults with disabilities and their families to get away, close to home, accessible to all, with no barriers.
Donate now to Gabacamp. Giving is living.
I am here with Rude the Dude from the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. Eating, drinking, celebrating. That's what you're all about.
Yes, we got a lot of great things on our menu. We got some great weekly specials, great chef specials, great happy hour. Chef Tank's back. So we're just doing our thing here at Magic Tree.
And if you're partying, don't forget about that banquet room. It seats up to 150. So whatever you're celebrating, Magic Tree Pub and Eatery is here for you.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, today I'm going to prepare potato soup. And this is such an easy recipe with ingredients that are readily available in your house. I cannot believe I have not done this sooner. This is really good for Lent. When you're looking for a meatless dish, instead of a chicken stock, use a vegetable stock. It's great for St. Patrick's Day, and this is just great any time of year. You can even fridge it, put it in the cooler for a while, and make vichyssoise. But I love this potato soup. It is super easy, and it is perfect for this time of year. For this recipe, you'll need 1/4 cup of butter, 1 large onion diced, 3 stalks of celery diced, 3 carrots diced, 5 cloves of garlic minced, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 4 cups of chicken or vegetable stock, 2 cups of milk, 2 pounds of potatoes, about 6 medium, peeled and diced, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, 3 bay leaves, 2 teaspoons of white wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, salt and pepper to taste, and chopped fresh parsley for garnish. Well, I melted the butter. It's nice and foamy. You can hear it sizzling. Now we're gonna add our first three ingredients: the celery, the onion, and then the carrots. It is gonna be about 10 minutes until these get nice and softened and we sweat through them a little bit. These are nice and soft. It's been about 10 minutes. Now I am going to add the garlic. I am just going to stir and combine this for 1 minute. That's all. I don't want my garlic to get brown or bitter or burn. So I am just gonna mix that. Yep, it's totally mixed in. And now, 1 teaspoon or tablespoon, there's 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna just add 1 at a time to coat the vegetables and make sure that we don't have any lumps or bumps or anything. And all we wanna do is get this coated, and then this acts as like a nice thickener when we start adding the liquids. See, that mixed really nice. So we'll just do it, 2 more additions. This is all over medium heat. So now what we're gonna do is start kind of the same, about 1/3 of each addition, about a cup at a time. And then we're just going to mix this in and make sure it absorbs all the flour. So it'll be about 3 additions of the stock. And see how it's really nice and it starts coating the vegetables and it thickens it up. So now the stock, all incorporated with the flour and the vegetables. We are going to turn this to high. I am going to add the milk. I'm using 2 cups of 2%. You can use whole, you could use half and half, or even heavy cream, but that will make for a much thicker soup. And I want this to be more soup-like than real thick. So I use the 2%. Now I'm going to add the potatoes. I did drain them to get them out of the water. The bay leaves and the thyme. You can also use fresh thyme, and that would be, just chop it up, about a teaspoon or so. So now we're gonna put this on high, and we are gonna wait to bring this to a boil. And after it comes to a rolling boil, we are going to turn it down to simmer and wait about 30 minutes for everything to blend together and soften up those potatoes. Now this is the consistency that I really like. I don't want it to be super thick. If you would like a thicker soup, you can use like an immersion blender and blend it all together and break up the potatoes to thicken it up. But I like it more of a soup. So I'm gonna turn off the heat, and I am going to dig around, and I'm going to find our bay leaves. There we go. Let me get the other 2 out, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So I've turned off the heat, and to add a little acid to the soup and cut through the milk and the cream and that, and I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of white wine vinegar. You can also add just a splash of white wine, but you just need a little acid in there, and I think that'll change the whole flavor profile. I also love white pepper, and you always add it very last so it doesn't cook out, and this adds a really warm flavor to the soup. So let me stir that, and if you've noticed, I haven't added any salt or pepper yet. So after I make those 2 additions, I am going to take a little taste and see if we need a little more salt and pepper, which we probably do. It's so good. But yes, yes we do. So I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt and a few grinds of black pepper. And then you can always pass it at the table. And then we are going to eat. Now, isn't that beautiful? You could just garnish it with a little parsley, some nice sharp Irish cheddar, and this is just a great meal. And if you want it a little thicker, all you have to do, stick the immersion blender in, or blend half of it, or all of it. I just like a chunkier soup. I don't really like a smooth soup, because this feels more like a meal when you have the chunks of the vegetables in there. So I'm gonna do a quick taste test here. I did add a little cheese and a little parsley. Honestly, it is so good and so easy. And the ingredients are readily available. Any time of year, Lent or St. Patrick's Day, just cook up a big pot of this. My potato soup recipe is available online, caseymaloneshow.com. Go and get this. You're going to love it. Cheers.
The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.